Okay, again, my name is Tracy. I am the representative of STA League and I'll be your host today. In today's sessions, we are super excited and honored to have our speaker Iskandar to share with you some crypto news update from GeFi on the coin-burning Stone Age NFT marketplace that we have just launched. Please do stay with us until the end as we have our special guest, the founder of Oasis, Mr. Evers, in our Q&A session. So before we start, just a heads up that we will be recording these sessions. As you can see just now, we have put up a message and said that this is recorded for our internal training purposes. And also we will be uploading this to our YouTube channel after 1 or 2 weeks times. So please don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and comment. Just a gentle reminder, please remember to mute yourself. And if you have any questions, please feel free to type it in the chat box and our support team will let us all welcome Iskandar and Mr. FS. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much for the introduction, Tracy. Hello, everybody. Good evening to you guys all. We are having a very exciting sharing session tonight. As of course, Tracy had said, we are going to have a Q&A session with one of the co-founders of ProjectOasis themselves. So that's going to be really cool, a really good dive into what they're all about and how we're benefiting from that and what our partnership is with GeFi and Oasis. But before I do all that, I would love to talk to you guys about some of the relevant news, some of the metaverse news that's happening very, very recently and in the last few months as well. So let's talk about virtual estate first. So here we can see that Zik is introducing a metaverse to trade real estate virtually on 3D maps. So trading virtual real estate is not a new thing. It's not a new concept in the crypto world, but Zik aims to do this differently by combining virtual real estate with real world maps, which is really cool. So you can see here some of the things happening in Zik, where this would be a real world map, and they're basically trying to plot virtual real estate. So they're kind of combining the two, which is really cool. And also people are indeed paying real money for virtual real estate in the metaverse, and monetizing this space is starting to give rise to metaverse real estate companies. So basically the first being Metaverse Property. So this company works to secure a wealth of land assets in the virtual real estate space. So it focuses on buying and selling, managing business properties, offering rentals in the metaverse, which is cool, virtual land development, as well as consultation and marketing. And Metaverse Property themselves are currently operating on multiple platforms like Decentraland and Sandbox, two very, very popular metaverse blockchain games, basically. So, you can invite a friend, you can invite your friends after you've built a house, you can decorate the walls with your NFTs. All of this metaverse stuff is a way of socializing, yeah? So this all really got jump-started with COVID. When the world shut down, people turned to their computers as a means of interacting with people. And since then, the foot traffic in the metaverse is continuing to grow at a very, very high rate, which is very exciting. And here's something very interesting, very, very quirky, and not super sure on exactly how this goes with laws, but with the Ethereum-based metaverse, Mars 4 will let users basically buy plots of land on the red planet, also known as Mars, of course, in the form of NFTs, which is pretty cool. So the metaverse has been built on a 3D map of Mars's terrain from NASA itself, and they claim to be the best components of Axie and Decentraland. That's how they describe themselves, as well as the first blockchain project to even allow people to buy plots of land on the red planet, or of course the virtual red planet, to earn passive income through their NFTs, kind of like rent, basically. Yeah, but that feature will only really go live once the game properly launches next year. So the developers are hoping to open those doors between January and March of 2022. So look out for that. There's so many different possibilities that come with the metaverse, and that's why I want to share all of these different things with you, just to show you exactly what can be done. All right, and let's talk about some of the celebrities. So some of the celebs are getting involved with Metaverse. We know a lot have released NFTs. I've discussed this in a previous sharing session. Recently, Paris Hilton signed a partnership with Decentraland as one of the headline celebrities to be featured on the platform's first ever Metaverse festival, slated this month. Basically, it must have just happened, actually. So yeah, they're using their genies avatar, which are animated avatars that can speak using their celebrity's voice, which is really cool direction that this technology is going in. And personally, I love this one because I'm a fan of Snoop Dogg. But in late September, Snoop Dogg partnered with Sandbox to reconstruct his real life mansion on the platform's NFT metaverse. So let's have a look at that, shall we?
NFT, never forget to pass it. Quickest way to get your motherfucking ass kicked. Smoking big while I'm bouncing in the classic. No cap, I don't even gotta gas it. When the weed come around.
Yeah, so that's a very, very sneak preview of what's happening with Snoop Dogg. Of course, he's entering the metaverse by owning his own virtual land in Sandbox, where he sets up his mansion. He's launched NFT collections, and he will launch more, including a limited Snoop Dogg private party pass, which gives users VIP access to concerts, events, Q&As, and dedicated NFT drops, both in the virtual world and in real life, which is really, really cool. And of course, other games and game companies are getting involved with the metaverse. GameStop is looking to build an Ethereum-based Web3 arm, according to a job listing posting. The retailer said that it's looking for someone with experience with these Ethereum NFTs and blockchain-based gaming platforms. So the post itself outlines a very metaverse-esque future for the gaming industry. And of course, we know Epic Games, the guys behind Fortnite, had completed a $1 billion round of funding, which will allow that company to support future growth opportunities. And we know Epic Games are really getting involved with the metaverse. Fortnite is the closest thing that you could get to a metaverse outside of blockchain technology. And yeah, in a previous sharing session, I talked all about that and what Fortnite is doing. So I would go and check that out on our YouTube page. And Adobe is looking for collaboration in the metaverse as well. The chief executive officer sees the tools that foster teamwork and products that take advantage of trends in digital worlds, such as NFTs and VR, so virtual reality, as the next wave of growth for his company, for the company Adobe. And they're going to release 2 products that will let people work together: Creative Cloud Spaces, which provides a place for teammates to organize files, libraries, and links. And there's also Creative Cloud Canvas. So this lets people display their design work to review with others who are part of the project. And they will also test web versions of Photoshop and Illustrator, which will let multiple people work more easily on the projects on the software. Yeah, and let's talk about Alibaba. Alibaba is a really interesting one. So e-commerce giant Alibaba Group Holding has filed to register several trademarks related to metaverse. So basically, they're exploring opportunities in a virtual world that has been termed the next iteration of the internet. That's what they believe. And so Alibaba recently submitted applications to trademark the Chinese term for Ali Metaverse, Taobao Metaverse, and Ding Ding Metaverse, according to business registration tracking platforms. So Taobao is the name of the Alibaba's flagship online marketplace. I'm sure some of you have used that before. And Ding Talk is the company's chat app. So they're making some kind of metaverse for both of them. So we've discussed in the past how there could be a shopping center metaverse. So you literally go into a virtual mall. And in this case, it would be going into Taobao virtually in a physical virtual space and buying the products in Taobao in the metaverse itself, which is cool. And the gaming giant Tencent is also set to sharpen its focus on developments in the metaverse space with a new gaming studio under subsidiary Timmy Studios. That's the one, Timmy Studios. Yeah, so Alibaba is working towards, having its own Yeah, its own metaverse. You can see here by its graphics. And we can't not talk about the big one, of course, Facebook. Facebook is really, really leading the charge here with its own kind of metaverse. The company has said that the metaverse will exist even if Facebook doesn't. And that's basically because no one party will be able to control this virtual space, hinting at decentralization, which is very interesting. There'll be a decentralized Facebook metaverse. And Zuckerberg has already been pumping $50 million into that metaverse. It's also working on its own cryptocurrency called DM, so DIEM, I believe, which will operate as a stable coin. So it'll be tied to the US dollar. It'll be pegged to the US dollar. And they're also looking to launch its own digital wallet, Novi, before the end of the year. And this will be tied to DM's blockchain-based payment system. So that's going to be really exciting to see how Facebook does this. And basically, they plan to hire 10,000 people in the European Union to build its vision for the metaverse. So it's creating 10,000 high-skilled jobs in the EU over the next 5 years. And this recruitment drive is definitely part of Facebook's ambition. And they do state, Zuckerberg has said before, that this metaverse might not even come into fruition for another 10 years, so they're really going to be focusing on what's going to happen. Already, yes, the metaverse world is starting to come into fruition, but these things will take time, and who knows what will happen in 10 years, what the internet is going to be like. Our next iteration of the internet is going to be like. It's like we'll all have access to the metaverse, which is going to be really cool. And of course, not only is Facebook, but Microsoft as well said that it will build an enterprise metaverse with Mesh, which is a mixed reality cloud-based meeting app. So that can teleport a person digitally to a remote location for shared experiences. And that's going to be really cool, revolving around 3D physical models. And in a previous sharing session, I have talked about all of the different companies that are really investing into metaverse. So if you want to go and check that out on our YouTube channel, I have a whole sharing session about blockchain gaming and the metaverse, and I go into much more detail about it in case you don't really know what's going on. Okay. And of course, the biggest news for us really is that the Stone Age, of course, GeFi is going to be heading into the metaverse. And we've already started doing that, which is amazing, amazing moves forward, great achievement. Very excited to see where this does take us. But yeah, as you guys know, and is probably the reason you're here, GeFi has partnered up with ProjectOasis, and we will talk about that in lots of detail in our Q&A session very, very soon, but not just yet. Aside from that, very, very recently, just today, really, it was announced that Stone Age is partnering with ATA. So ATA is a blockchain-based content creator, and it aims to produce and distribute best-in-class digital and physical assets to collectors worldwide. And what they're trying to do is basically create an esports metaverse. So we have another metaversal partner in ATA, where they're doing an esports metaverse, and basically we have sponsored them in their League of Legends esports tournament. So yeah, they're hosting a 48 hours flash voting event for the League of Legends Championship semifinals. And basically, yeah, if you vote, you can share a cash reward pool of gemstones, basically. So that will be sponsored by Stone Age ourselves. So that's really, really exciting. All right, now let's talk a bit about more of the latest updates with GeFi, with Gemstone Finance, before jumping straight into the Q&A. So I just want to let you guys know this has been announced, but we are having GEG Burning Day. This is going to be on the 1st of November. This is GEG Burning Day. It'll be a historic event with GeFi, as it will burn a total of about 3,052 GEG collected from the Gemstone ISO, collected from the initial stone offering. So if you guys didn't know before, coin burning is the process by which digital currency miners and developers can remove tokens or coins from circulation, which thereby slows down inflation rates or reduces the total circulating supply of coins. And it is primarily done to control the price of the coin by creating a deflationary effect. So yeah, here we go. It is very much tied to the law of demand and supply. If there is a decrease in supply, then it will lead to an increase in prices. And that's basically the summary of coin burning, basically. And that's why a lot of different projects do that. You know, it's very difficult to control the flow of tokens once they've been mined. So to remove them from circulation, basically you have to send these tokens to a specialized address that have unobtainable private keys. So if no one has access to these keys, no one has access to these coins, and yeah, they become unusable. And since all transactions are recorded on the blockchain and cannot be altered, everyone can know that these coins are actually burned. So in this case with GeFi, the percentage of GEG that was used to buy gemstones in the initial stone offering will be burned. So the percentage, a certain percentage of GEG used to buy gemstones will be burned. And of course, this will help us have an increase in prices, of course. Now, speaking of gemstones, let's talk about the Stone Age marketplace, shall we? We have a very, very successful launch last week. So that's right. If you missed it, Stone Age is now live. Stone Age marketplace is officially live. So it's really, really exciting. It's just been under a week and we've had a fair bit of traffic already. You can already go ahead and create your own NFTs now. So far as of this hour, about 350 NFTs have been created in the last week. So that's pretty good. That's pretty good traffic, very good achievement so far in our early days of the Stone Age marketplace. So we're getting the ball rolling with our platform, and I love to see artists using it. And I love to see people who may not even consider themselves artists and are just going for it, you know, just go for it. There's really no risk involved. Of course, there's some small fees that come with creating and uploading your NFTs, but the price at which you may sell your NFT at may be well worth it, and that's for sure. So let's look at some of the collections that are currently out there. So we know we've seen this before. In the previous session, I shared this with you. This is the original Stone Age NFTs created by the team. And of course, we've got some classy rogues. This is another kind of collection. They're all a little different. They all have their own attributes, traits, and accessories. We've also got Storm's collection. So I don't know who Storm is, but if you're in here, we'll shout out to you, man. These are really, really cool pieces of art, a really cool collection. I'm really digging the artwork, the detail, and yeah, the style that's going on. And it doesn't even have to be as crazy detailed as that. People will buy any kind of NFT. So here are some really minimalistic, simple NFTs that are out there. These are, I believe, are called the Adventures of the Packet Buddies. So this is kind of a shout out to Malaysia. If anyone here is from Malaysia, this is basically your ikat tepi, your packet drinks, and they have come to life in the form of these little buddies, and they're all doing very, very interesting adventures and activities. So yeah, Moon Buddy is the most expensive, and there are other ones going for 60 or 80 BUS dollars. So yeah, there's loads of collections out there. You guys should have a browse. You guys should definitely create your own. And I'll quickly tell you guys exactly how to create your own if you aren't aware. Just head over to create, scroll down, click if you want a single or multiple copy. It'll take you here, upload your file, choose what type of NFT it is, fill in all of the details, add royalties if you'd like, if you want. Whenever someone sells your art, then you get, let's say, 10% of that sale if you'd like. And of course, there is a storage fee of 100 gemstones for each of your NFTs. So it's not really that much, but of course, we got to have that ecosystem circulating with our tokens. So yeah, there is a little bit of a storage fee. And once you've uploaded it and created it, you can just set a price and you can sell it for any of these currencies, cryptocurrencies. And then it'll be listed. And if you have missed out on the initial stone offering, well, have no fear. We have our initial DEX offering incoming in just a week's time. We've partnered up with Dodo DEX, which is really, really awesome. So they're bringing us the initial DEX offering, and public sales yet will be taking place on Dodo DEX. So, keep in mind, if you guys did miss out, or if you just want to buy even more gemstones, then yeah, head on over to Dodo Dex on the 3rd of November. It will go for about 24 hours. And in that 24 hours, about 20 million gemstones will be, up for sale, basically. So 20 million, and there's 95 million gemstones in total. So yeah, that's a fair chunk of our gemstones in our IDO, but of course, soon after that, it will be on public sale. But in order to get into this IDO, you need to be whitelisted. So listen up. Basically, what you need to do to get whitelisted is to go onto the Stone Age NFT Twitter, and you will have to follow these rules. So you need to do these 2 rituals, as they said. You need to retweet this tweet and tag 3 friends as you do. And then you got to follow the Twitter, you got to join the Telegram channel, and you got to join the Telegram community. So once you've done all of that, you click on this link and it will take you to this form here. So you'll scroll down a bit and you'll get to these options. So all you have to do is fill in your email, the Twitter username you used to retweet, the Telegram username you used to join the communities, your BSC address, and of course the link to wherever you retweeted. Once all of these are entered and submitted, you'll be verified and you will be notified that you have been whitelisted. So that'll be really cool. Once you fill out that form, you will be whitelisted, and then you can have a chance to get your more gemstones, man, more gemstones out. So that will be very, very soon. So really keep an eye on that. Okay, guys. I know you like hearing me talk, but I know what you're really here for, and that is to learn more about Project Oasis. So without further ado, let us start the very, very special session that we do have. This is the Oasis Q&A. This is the Oasis Q&A. So yeah, this is going to be awesome. I would love to introduce then our very, very special guest speaker. He goes by FS, and this is his calling card if you ever need to reach him. So yeah, I guess we'll have to unmute the team. The team has to unmute.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hi, Iskandar. Yeah.
Hi, FS. Hi.
Yeah. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, no worries. Is there any other Oasis team members that would like to be unmuted?
Yeah, our game director Halliday.
Halliday, yeah, Halliday. I'll ask to unmute you, and I'll ask Imp. Would Imp like to be unmuted?
Yeah, sure.
Cool. So you guys are free to chime in at any point when I'm asking you guys some questions. So yeah, without further ado, let's go. And before we do head into that, I would just like to show a little intro video to people who aren't really sure about what's going on with Project Oasis. So this is a real short clip, and so we'll explain some of the basics for you. Very, very exciting. So yeah, I just would like to welcome FS, Halliday, and Imp. Welcome, guys.
Hi, thanks for having us.
You need to unmute FS, Iskandar.
Oh yeah, I thought he was already unmuted. Yeah, you can't unmute yourself, so I'll just ask you guys to unmute again. All right.
Yeah, I'm back.
Sweet.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah. And I can't wait anymore. Come on, then let's rock and roll already.
All right, let's do this. All right, guys. So now starting the Q&A session again. So glad to have you guys on board with us. So without further ado, let's go on to our first question. I would like to know, you guys, what is Oasis? What is Project Oasis? And would you be able to tell us why you have chosen the theme? What inspired the theme of Oasis, of its little old school 8-bit theme?
Yeah, so Oasis is basically a metaverse where our plan is to like gamify all the DeFi protocols. So that includes all the lending protocols, the DEXs, the NFT marketplace, and also games, right? So art direction, a large portion of us, we are quite old, so we are in a range of between the early 30s. So we grew up playing Zelda, Harvest Moon. So a lot of them like they wish to bring back that nostalgia feel, and because DeFi is pretty complex to a lot of newcomers. So I think a good way to kind of gamify and bring back the nostalgia feeling is basically getting you the feel of your childhood feeling, right? So something that is friendly and safe. Yeah.
Yeah, sweet. I love it. And don't worry, man, I wouldn't say early 30 is old. I think 40 is the new 30, they say. But I totally appreciate this artwork. I love the art direction for sure. I can totally relate, even though I'm not as old as you guys. Let's head on to the next question. So, can you guys please tell us what is the collaboration with GeFi and Oasis? What can GeFi and Oasis holders do in this map?
Yep. So right now we have integrated PancakeSwap. IPSwap will be live in a couple of hours. So basically, instead of going down to Pancake or IPSwap to do your swaps or the adding of liquidity or even participating in their farming projects, you can actually just do it directly within Oasis. And the next will be GeFi. GeFi's house has already been integrated. The functions are not up yet. It should be up in about a week's time. So basically, you're adding of liquidity to harvesting the GeFi tokens. You can all do it within the Oasis game. It's placed right beside the Pancake house. So it's like it's really convenient. Like instead of basically alternating between two websites, you can just basically say for example, if you have harvested your GeFi tokens, and if you wish to kind of swap it to any other tokens, you can just walk to the Pancake DEX, which is on the left of the house, and then just do the swap. Or even if you want to do it on IPSwap, that will be the right of the GeFi's house.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah, Pancake is to the left, Ape is to the right. Yeah, that does sound very, very convenient. Instead of having to, log into your wallet every time, because of course you have your security measures. It's so much easier to just walk in one virtual world to do all of your financial things, all of your yield farming. That sounds awesome.
Yeah, and also we have checked through the all the contracts. So like for newcomers, a lot of them like they are very unfamiliar, right? So there are a lot of duplicate tokens out there. So if you do it within Oasis, it's straightforward because all of the tokens are kind of like listed, right? So is very, very easy, especially if you're a newcomer. If you're a power user, then it's more of convenience, but for newcomers, like safety. Yeah,
fair enough. Awesome. All right, let's move on to the next question. So I'd love to know, why did Project Oasis choose the Binance Smart Chain? And is that the only chain that they will be using?
We do support all EVM chains. So that includes Matic, that includes Ethereum. But the primary reason that we choose Binance Smart Chain is because number one, of the low transaction cost, right? Because if it's done in ETH, it's easily like 20-30 folds. That is number one, because we have a lot of activities that that you'll be able to do. So and we are thinking of the angle of it has to be like fees has to be friendly to newcomers. So even if you do like a mistake, say for example, if you are just swapping from BNB to GeFi token, right? Or GeFi token to BNB, if it's not that amount that you want, that fees will not kill you. But if it's in ETH, right, that fees is easily just an approved fees might cost you, depending on the time, it might cost you between $20 to $30 just for the approved fee, and then the swap fee might cost you between $30 to $40. So whereas in BSC it's just probably 20 cents. Yeah, so that is the primary reason. The second reason is we have been in the DeFi space since mid last year. So a lot of our partners, including BSC News, ApeSwap, we have known them for a long time. So we plan to start our first realm in BSC, and then it really depends on the natives that whichever EVM chains that they wish us to expand to, then that will be most likely the next stop.
Awesome. So a realm would basically be a certain network then.
Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. Very, very cool. Excited to see where that goes. All right, for the next question then. We know that you can buy assets and cosmetics with Oasis coin, but I hear you can buy land too. So what land, and why would a player want to own or even rent out a piece of land? What are people able to do with their plots of land?
Yeah, so earlier in this segment, you actually showed a couple of videos regarding how the metaverse is evolving and what people are doing with virtual land for sale. In the Oasis itself, we plan to expand like a city. So currently we are onboarding protocols which are very close to us. And these are our anchor tenants to be partnered up with. From there onwards, what we will do is we will open land sales to the public, whether it's to protocols or individuals, to buy a piece of land like in real life. And what you do with the piece of land varies to the user. I can build my own house, which is basically like a private chat room, sort of like portfolio and Twitter profile like that. I can insert all my credentials there so that I'm easily reachable in the crypto space. From there, if you do not want to do anything, but you feel that this land is a prime piece of land, which is, for example, near to the pancake house, and you can actually put your land up for sale or rent to basically protocols who feel that it would benefit me to be close to the pancake house. So we do add value in terms of positioning of the land and as well as the growth of the city.
Awesome. That sounds really cool. I'd love to own a little piece of land myself. You know, I'd like to invite my friends over and check my house out.
Yep.
All right, so moving on then. Thank you so much, Halliday, for chiming in there. For our next question now, can you explain what are the NFTs in this world? You know, what are they used and integrated into the ProjectOasis Metaverse? Do we get weapons, or are we able to mint our own NFTs in Oasis?
So to start this off, we have to sort of break it down to a few phases. So our initial phase of NFTs are purely used for cosmetics. What I mean by this is basically, aside from it being an NFT on-chain, which is tradable on a marketplace, these cosmetics will then be able to be used in our game for you to walk around. You know, if you like to be a pumpkin, for example, that's among one of the NFTs we have, and then we can utilize that to walk around in the game. But as for utility of this is just sort of like a sneak peek. We actually are going to provide a contribution to all our NFT holders. So it's our way of giving rewards to our NFT holders itself. Yeah. And
Nice.
for the next question, which is basically when you mentioned, do you get weapons? It's actually depending on which segment of the Oasis you want to participate in, because not everyone likes to come to a metaverse and play a game, right? Whether they like the game or not. So what we are doing is we are implementing a system whereby if I want to participate in our PvE segment, which is our play to earn, then you would have to buy your weapons. But of course, there is a basic set. And if you want to try, for example, another game on the Oasis, then you would have to buy a separate equipment set as well. So I am trying not to reveal too much here, but there is a surprise, when we are doing these games, and we want to make it affordable, and even if you don't want to spend any money, you will have a basic set of equipment that you can actually just hop on and try the games first.
Wow, that sounds really cool. I like that. So is there any kind of date that the attributed NFT sales will be, or the play to earn will be?
So for our attribute NFT sale, we are looking to have it up in the coming month, I guess, by the end of November.
Cool.
So that's something everyone can look forward to. And for our game section, we are trying to come up with a few segments. So if it's available earlier, we would like to release it earlier than our roadmap, which is planned for Q1 2022.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, yeah, that's pretty soon. Both of those things are very soon. So would love to see what happens in the next few months. So that's going to be really cool. Okay, and then to our next question. So yeah, these natives, explain please what a native is and if they are NFTs, or is it just or the clothes that they wear, and what kind of skin, clothing, and hair could we see with these guys?
So just to elaborate on the point of natives, basically, Project Oasis is a community-driven project where we aim to gather all our community and sort of expand the reach to the entire Binance Smart Chain realm at the moment. So the natives are actually referring to our community, right? The NFTs that we are presenting them is we will have our Oasis NFTs, but in the future, we will also be looking to do collaboration NFTs, because we sort of want to populate our metaverse, not only with our form of NFTs, but for example, if we want to partner with Stone Age, right? It would be nice to see like having little Stone Age men running around the Oasis as well. And everyone can represent their sort of protocol, proudly. If I'm an avid fan of Stone Age, I want to feel proud wearing it around the metaverse, and we want to give that experience back to the user.
Yeah, I like that. I like that you are, you're getting into what people may like themselves, tapping into what personal preferences are with all these skins, especially how you've related that to your partnerships, I like that kind of representation that you got going on. And here we have some of the NFT native skins that may be available for all the natives out there.
Yep.
So
pretty soon.
Yeah, pretty soon. Yeah, pretty soon. All right, now we just like to go over like some. There are some other buildings that are built there. We'll start off with the shopping center, the supermarket, and the hospital. What are these buildings for? And what can you do in these buildings?
Okay, so initially when we created the Oasis, most of the buildings you see now are basically templates, to be honest with you.
Okay.
And we are just using them as placeholders first. But as you can see, as we acquire more partnerships and people that we onboard, right, we sort of customize the building to our partners, like the GeFi building you have shown earlier, right? So what we want to do is we eventually want to replace all these buildings with a unique building that each protocol can call their own. And that would give them a sense of ownership, I would say.
Awesome. I like that. Okay, so they're just placeholders. Eventually, people can come in. Projects you may collaborate with will also take over those pieces of land and have their own buildings then. Okay, well, very, very cool. Let's talk about now about the DAO. So what exactly, is the DAO here, and what can we vote on in the DAO? Are these things, moderated or approved before being public? Can any Oasis holder submit their own proposal?
Yeah, so basically any Oasis member will be able to submit their own proposal. They will need to spend some Oasis token. That has not been set yet. We are kind of just letting the price kind of find is stable price. I think it has kind of find a support price between $1.30 to $1.40. But this should be up in about a month's time. And of course, like what we have mentioned just earlier, like which chain do the natives want us to expand, right? That is an example of one of the proposal. Second will be, let's just say that there is a new partnership with a new NFT project, and they will like that NFT to come on board, and at a certain level that NFTs kind of unlock the sprite files. So instead of being a static JPEG, like it becomes a character within Oasis. So we will kind of leave that if the amount of native wants that in, yeah, we will then prepare the sprite files for those projects as well.
Cool, awesome. And so you'll be able to vote in the town council, I'm assuming. I've come across the town council before.
Yes, exactly.
Awesome. And yeah, just a quick question here. Will there be like peer-to-peer transactions available in Oasis, or will it just be the interactions with the DEXs and other projects?
Okay, so for the Oasis, I think we sort of want to remain with the crypto space in trustlessness, right? So we will try to avoid peer-to-peer transactions at the current moment, but we will allow people to trade on our marketplace, which is called Agora. And from there, we will sort of evolve based on how the crypto space goes and try to provide, a form of convenience to the user as well.
Awesome, very cool. So yeah, the Agora is the NFT marketplace, right? Yeah, okay. All right, and I'd love to know about Yggdrasil tree. I've seen this Yggdrasil tree. I've seen that it has announcements. I've read the announcements, but I would love to know what's going on with these airdrops. How can people participate and earn airdrops by this Yggdrasil tree?
Yep, so this tree is known as the tree of life, right? So
right.
What we are trying to do is we want to create a system whereby users will feel not just by playing our games, but for example, if you were to hold actually reward you every week with an airdrop. So it is dependent on the weightage that they hold. Number one is based on the amount of Oasis you hold, the volume that is staked, and even by completing simple tasks. For example, when you onboard a new partner and you want to sort of direct traffic to them, to support their other protocols. So we will do like a quest system where we will ask players to walk to their building and interact with those protocols. And that sort of gives us not control, but a way to make more interaction in the Oasis. Even if it's just as simple as attending an AMA live in the Oasis, which is something we have planned for the future. And then you will be rewarded with an airdrop at the end of every week based on your interaction of the protocol in the Oasis.
Awesome, very cool. I love that interactability. That's very cool. Love to get some of these airdrops from the Tree of Life. Where else would you get them from? All right, and close to our last couple questions here, to do with the games. So I'd just love to know what are the games. I know Oasis Coin will be earned by playing games, I'm sure. And will there be loot that players can find?
Yep. So this is another section where let me break it down for you to make it easier for users to understand our game system. Initially, we are going to create a closed environment PvE, which is players versus a monster. So we are going to create something like a dungeon where there is a mini boss inside, and on the week combat with the boss to earn a sort of loot box, which will present users with a mystery gift, whether it's in the form of Oasis token, equipment, NFTs, right? So we want to add an element of surprise there. And because this boss is not something that we are going to keep there for a very long time, what we're going to do is as we gain more partners, we will constantly be changing the boss. So for instance, if assuming one of our partners is Cake Monster, right? In the following week, we will change the sort of T-Rex to a Cake Monster. And then we would add like like monster token, or that if you kill the boss, maybe you get a monster token.
Very cool.
So,
very cool.
Yeah. Aside from this, from the game mechanics into an open world sort of hunting game where you actually go around killing monsters in the open map, and you would gain a sort of reward in terms of resource, which can then be used to upgrade your items to a higher level or tier. And those items itself will also be in the form of an NFT, which is then tradable on our marketplace.
Oh, very cool.
Yep.
So you'll be able to find this loot. You're basically earning some kind of reward, some kind of token, or some kind of NFT, which you can then trade it for in your Agora marketplace.
Yes, correct.
That's awesome. I love that.
Yep. Just to touch on this furthermore, along the way, like I said, we are implementing a multiple form of games. So this is sort of like another sneak preview to the community, is that we will be introducing mini games along the way, which will also allow users to have a form of like play to earn aspect.
Awesome. Very cool. And just one more question to do with games. And as you've reiterated before, that you're a community-driven, project. So we can fight against monsters. We can fight against each other's. But can you fight with each other? Can you fight in a party of some kind?
Yep. We want to aim, like to say, for community purpose. We want to sort of push for interaction between players. So they can team up to enter the dungeon that I mentioned earlier, or they can team up in the open world to sort of hunt monsters and like random boss spawns. And basically, the more people in the party will, of course, generate easier gameplay experience to gain those juicy loots.
Nice. Yeah, it sounds very, very exciting. I'm super keen to start playing these games and start playing with my friends as well. I like that open world concept. It very much reminds me of Pokemon, really, when you're walking around and suddenly, a wild Rattata appears,
Yeah, that's the nostalgic feel we are going for.
Yeah, I appreciate that very much. All right, well, that is the end of our Q&A session. I would love to give a huge thank you to the Oasis team, FS and Halliday, and of course, Imp for joining us, and whoever from the Oasis community has also joined into the sharing session. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it very, very much that you guys came and took the time to tell us about your project. And yeah, we really dove in deep, and I've learned so much more about what's happening right now with Project Oasis and what's happening in the future with Oasis. So yeah, I'll just give you guys a clap, an applause. Thank you so much. I'm sure everyone else.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, no worries. Absolutely no worries. And really my takeaway here is that, you are very, very community driven. And I really like that. Of course. And that's how we like it at GeFi. And that's how we are at GeFi. We are definitely very, very community driven. A lot of our incentives as well come from being a community. Of course, we have our community campaigns. For those that don't know, every one of us, even if you're a small holder, everyone has a responsibility to maintain their ecosystem of the project that they're investing in, whether it's Oasis or GEG. And here at GeFi, of course, any buy or sell will affect the GEG, so it's important as a community to stick together. And yeah, this is a community project, and which is why I love to host these webinars for you guys. And I'm loving having to be able to talk to some really interesting people about some really cool, projects that are basically propelling us into the future. I mean, these guys have created a metaverse that has already put in PancakeSwap and ApeSwap, and of course us, as well as like Cake Monsters and the BSC News. So that's really, really cool. And so, yeah, like both of our communities, we want to know we want you guys to know what you are getting yourselves into and what you're investing in. There's a huge project with lots of services. They aren't just coins. These things aren't just coins. They have utility. All of us, they do have utility. But yeah, we do have our financial incentives, of course, at GeFi, and that's just to enlighten and encourage people to follow our common goal of building a strong community. Speaking, of course, we have our affiliate rewards distributed successfully this week. This happens every single Tuesday, so don't forget to check your wallet regularly so you can enjoy your rewards and keep staking. And of course, with our community leader rewards, this is something that you guys really need to get yourselves into, because the amount of rewards that you can get as a community leader far transcends than anyone who is just staking as a solo staker. I've explained before, but this is basically 20%, 30%, and 40% community rewards every time your friends are harvesting. This is a lot of extra money that you are making that you're not even really doing anything. You have a community and all of your friends are harvesting. Every time they harvest, you're getting maximum as a CL3, the 30% as your community leader, plus the 10% affiliate reward. That's 40% extra that's happening, that's just given to you basically for free. That is some great passive income, and we would love for you guys to aspire to be a community leader. So if you do want to, then please ask your admins. It comes with great benefits, as I've said before. So please, just you can research this up more. If you don't actually know how much you can make as a community leader, then head on over to our YouTube page, because of course we've got that uploaded. We've got all our sharing sessions up there, so please go and check that out. But yeah, it's a lot of extra dosh that you can make very passively, and these are distributed at least 3 times a month. They're 3 times a month, so yeah, you're getting it very regularly. And if you're new here, if you guys are part of Oasis, then please join our GeFi community. We've got lots of communities here: Rice, Sixnim, G5, STA League, which we are here representing, OTG, and CKOL. All of these communities are under the GeFi brand, and we would love you guys to come and join our community. We are an international mega community, so please go and tell your friends across the world. We all know that blockchain is accessible anywhere with internet, so you can tell anyone about it and they can come and join the awesome ride that GeFi is. And here are the links. If you would like to take a screenshot, go ahead. I will come back to this towards the end. But yeah, please like, comment, and subscribe on our YouTube channel, and tell us what else you would like to know, and who you would like to get to know with our projects, with our partnerships, and what concepts you would love to find out for our future upcoming sharing sessions. So yeah, go and give that a subscribe. And if you're totally new here, very easy to get some GEG. Our contract address can be found on CoinGecko, one of the #1 aggregators, crypto aggregators on the market. Just click to copy. And of course, you sign up for your wallet, register. You can use a referral link from someone who's already in GeFi, and then go and exchange that stuff. And of course, to end this all, love to share with some words of wisdom. Long-term investment success is almost totally a function of how one emotionally handles declines in the equity market, as opposed to how one's portfolio handles them. So that's basically saying, don't trade with emotions. Don't just look at your wallet. Don't look at it as just a coin. Look at the things that you're investing in as projects, long-term projects that you can see have a future. Of course, you may be very smart and knowledgeable in crypto, and you're one of those guys who like to jump from coin to coin, and that's all good. But here at GeFi, of course, we are very much encouraging long-term investment, because that's where we plan to do. We plan to be a long-term thing. Of course, we got lots and lots of services coming up, and as you can see, we've partnered up with ProjectOasis, which is a huge step for us and the metaverse. Basically, we're entering the metaverse, guys. It's already happening. Even I didn't think it would happen so quickly, but here we are. The future is now. And of course, the wisest rule of investment is when others are selling, buy. And there's no other way to say that as opposed to hold on for dear life and buy the dip, everybody. So yeah. And of course, guys, there are scams that are being out there. So please, please be careful of the people who tweet at you, the people who message you on Discord, and the people who are messaging on Telegram. All of these things, they might be scams. So please, please make sure you're on the right GeFi channel. There are some fake GeFi channels that are out there asking for money and also giving in some weird links. Don't touch a link you've never seen before without asking what's going on here. So always want to give you guys that word of caution, because it's a dangerous place out here. Blockchain world is a wild, wild west at the moment. So, we're all just rootin' tootin' cowboys trying to find our way. And so, yeah, thank you so much, everybody. Thank you again to ProjectOasis Team. Thank you to FS, Holiday, and Imp. Thank you guys so much for coming and speaking to everybody. And thank you to everybody who has attended this session. I hope you guys have learned a lot about what's happening with ProjectOasis, what's happening with the metaverse, and what's happening with GeFi. So, yeah, that is it from me. Thank you guys so much for coming.